What is Uniswap? Today we're talking about what is Uniswap, and we're going to talk about why Uniswap is important. I believe this technology really is the wave of the future. In fact, I believe that cryptocurrency in and of itself is really the next tech revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, if you believe in the future of cryptocurrency, if you believe that we're really on the cusp of a brand new technology and a brand new revolution, do me a favor, smash that like button. If you want to learn how you're able to earn a passive cryptocurrency stream or passive stream of cryptocurrency each and every day, each and every week, and how you can take advantage of some of the opportunities that exist by watching what I'm doing as I'm learning about it, as I'm bringing it to you on this channel. If that's the content that you like, then do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and please click all. So what is Uniswap? Uniswap is a trustless, decentralized financial exchange, or DEX. Decentralized means that there's nobody that can stop you from trading. Think of it this way. If you were to want to trade, say, a traditional stock, you would have to open an account. Maybe you open an account with something like Webull or something like Robinhood. That would require you to register your account. You would have to verify your identification. You would have to send them funds either by a bank wire or credit card, debit card, whatever. Once they have that money, then you could be able to trade. But your trading account would require certain permissions. Depending on what the brokerage allows you to do, you may be able to trade. You may be able to trade normal stocks. You may be able to trade options, or you might have to get additional permissions to trade options. Depending on your account, certain features could be available to you. Certain features could be cut off from you, and that's pretty normal with a brokerage account. But with Uniswap, it's decentralized, meaning you don't need anyone's permission to trade anything. Now, Uniswap trades right now only on the Ethereum blockchain. It's the biggest decentralized exchange, but it primarily trades tokens on Ethereum. Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, only to Bitcoin. One of the biggest differences in Ethereum and Bitcoin is that Ethereum is far more programmable. People don't realize Bitcoin is also programmable, but that's a video for another time. Ethereum's far more programmable, and you can run programs on the Ethereum blockchain that can't be stopped. There's no way to stop the blockchain. So if you're able to run a software that's hosted on that blockchain, therefore it's decentralized, it's permissionless, meaning anyone can access it. You don't need someone's approval to access it. And it's difficult to stop or practically impossible to stop. Meaning, even if the federal government said that you could not trade Ethereum tokens on the Uniswap blockchain, there's literally, short of them putting you in a padded room and no access to the internet ever again in your lifetime, there's almost no way that they could actually stop you from doing that. It's an incredible technology. Now, you may think, why would we need decentralized protocols? Why would we need an exchange like this? Well, one recent example is what's going on right now. Have you heard about the whole thing going on with GameStop right now? How GameStop's effectively, the price is shot way up to some crazy number. And basically all that's happened is that some traders use publicly available information to spot an opportunity. Meet Kevin has a great video on his channel. I'll put it above in the cards right up here, or I'll put it down in the description and you can watch it. But he basically describes it very well, what's going on right now. And because of this is amazing. Because this stock has shot way up, some of the big financial guys have lost a lot of money. A lot of the financial management firms, they've lost billions of dollars. And right now, a lot of individual investors are winning. Hopefully, they take some profits and they don't get wrecked on the way down. And I just did a video yesterday, and I'll link it above. You can watch it. I'll put it in the description. I predicted that the GameStop price would shoot up and it would shoot right back down at some point. At some point, fear would happen. At some point, something would happen, and the price would drop really quickly. And I was encouraging people to be very, very careful. Don't be afraid to take some profits, etc. What I did not predict was that the powers that be would get involved in trying to manipulate or change the market. Take a look at this. Robinhood, TD Ameritrade are restricting trading of GameStop, AMC stock, and other stocks meaning they're not allowing people to trade. Meaning the centralized authority says, hey, you can't buy any more of this stock. We're cutting you off. Why are they doing this? You have to ask yourself, why are they doing this? I mean, Robinhood, take from the rich, give to the poor. That's kind of the theory here, but yet they're protecting the rich financiers. It's incredible to see what's happening, to see this is actually happening. This is why something like Uniswap is so important. How did George Soros break the Bank of England? This is considered one of the greatest financial trades of all time. George Soros effectively shorted the British pound. The entire British pound literally brought an entire currency to its knees and almost single-handedly forced Britain to go into the European Union. Think about that. That's incredible. It says here, in 1992 is now known as the day when speculators broke the pound. The single biggest speculator was George Soros. Was that considered manipulation by him? I don't think so. But yet, when average investors get together, I mean, the one guy was losing $50,000 on his position before now he's up to over $22 million. At least that's where he was up at the peak. Yet now all of a sudden, because it's average investors, it's a bad thing. And by the way, all that happened is the average investors won the game. I mean, this is truly what happened. It's really crazy. Here's Webull for you. Dear value client, please note that we will no longer allow clients to open new positions in the following 3 stocks: AMC, GME, or COS. So they were no longer going to allow you to open brand new positions. It's unbelievable. Here's a tweet that came out recently. Breaking news. Google just removed 120,000 negative reviews from the Robinhood app. This is big tech looking out for big finance. I mean, this is unbelievable. Robinhood democratizing finance for all. Yeah, right. I mean, this is unbelievable. Because of this technology, this sort of censorship is not going to be able to continue. Online investor army takes wallop with trading barriers. An army of retail traders that has routed Wall Street professionals in recent days was dealt a blow on Thursday after online brokerages, Robinhood Markets Inc., Interactive Brokerage, restricted trading in red-hot GameStop, and several other social media darling stocks that had soared this week. So why do we need something like Uniswap? Because nobody can stop you from trading. There can be no Robinhood. There can be no Robinhood come along and say, oh, you can't trade that anymore. You see, Uniswap is trustless, decentralized financial exchange. It allows anyone to exchange Ethereum-based tokens with no middleman. It gives you permissionless access to financial services. The keyword there is permissionless. You don't need someone's permission. If you need someone's permission, they can stop you. There's no one that can stop you from making trades. It's a true fair market, free market. Uniswap uses smart contracts to replace traditional exchanges such as NASDAQ. Any ERC20 token, which is an Ethereum-based token, can be traded on Uniswap. Hey, I want you to come look at this video real quick. So this is an interview with the NASDAQ CEO. Most people don't realize this. They think NASDAQ is some sort of like government organization. No, it's essentially a private entity. But here we go. Let's listen to this.
But is it healthy, Adina? What's your feeling on what we're seeing right now?
Well, we definitely have seen a significant increase in retail participation in the markets throughout the year, both in equities and in options. I think that when we look at the role of the exchanges, our role is to match the buyers and sellers and to provide a proper and accurate reflection of supply and demand in a stock or an option at any given period. I think when we look at our larger role as a self-regulatory organization, we also really do focus on making sure that the activity in the market is legitimate activity and that if there is any sort of manipulation going on, that we root it out and we eliminate it from the market. So that is also part of our role.
Think about this. She said that their first role is basically being able to make the market, match up buyers and sellers, etc. Now, what's interesting about Uniswap is that it is done automatically through liquidity providers and liquidity pools. And I'll be covering that in more detail in another video. So you can be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. But think about that. And then she said that her next goal is to root out manipulation in the market. What is she considering manipulation? That's what's so interesting here. If you were sharing tips at the water cooler, hot stock tips at the water cooler in your place of employment, and 6 people all agreed to go buy a stock and it went up, nobody's going to care. But now because of the internet, if you share it on Reddit and, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people see it, 10,000 people see it, 100,000 people see it, and they all decide to take action, now all of a sudden, that's considered stock manipulation. Everybody had access to the same data. The only people, in fact, if you go look at Meet Kevin's video, again, I'll put in the description, the reason that this all started with GameStop is because people realized that there was too many people shorting. There was too many shares of GameStop stock being shorted. So it created an opportunity where if those investors were wrong, the price was going to automatically skyrocket by the very nature of how shorting stock works. It was going to create something called a short squeeze. That was their hunch that could happen. Inadvertently or advertently, they created the short squeeze when people started piling in on this. But what you don't realize is the first gentleman who started doing this and started talking about it, he was criticized for it. He was told he was an idiot. Even on the very Reddit thread, gets credit for all this quote-unquote manipulation. Originally, he was criticized for his decision. He had to hold that stock for several months, I think 2 or 3 months, before it started to gain momentum. In fact, I think for his first position, he opened in October or early November, and now here we are in January. So he had to hold it all that time before it turned around. Nobody cared then. Nobody noticed. It's only when the big finance loses billions of dollars to average internet users, many who were making the first trade for the very first time. Now all of a sudden, that's manipulation and it's got to be stopped. Let's keep going.
When it comes to some of the latest activities that we've seen, I'm not going to comment on any particular listings, particularly those that are not listed on our exchange. But I think that in general, when we evaluate how we would manage through a situation where you see a significant run-up in a stock that's not based on news, that's not based on fundamentals, what we do is we do have technology that evaluates.
What's interesting is she says it's not based on news and it's not based on fundamentals. And she's somewhat right. But it is based partially on technical analysis, not chart technical analysis, but they were looking at the amount of, it was public information where they were trying to make an educated guess. They were realizing that this stock was over-shorted. That was public information. Again, but a central authority has a problem with this. A central authority, which is connected to Robinhood, to Webull, to Google, all fight back. This is not possible on a decentralized exchange. The real manipulators of the market are the big finance. People like the CEO. She looks drunk right there. It always is bad when you stop it at the wrong time. Let me keep going.
Social media chatter. And if we see a significant rise in the chatter on social media channels, and then we also match that up against unusual trading activity, we will potentially halt that stock to allow ourselves to investigate the situation, to be able to engage with the company, and to give investors a chance to recalibrate their positions. And then if we do think or...
By the way, when she says manipulation and then allow investors to recalibrate their position, she's not talking about the same investors who are seeing their profits go up. She's talking about the investors, the big investors, the hedge fund guys, so they can recalibrate, so they can fix their position. Again, this is big finance looking out for big finance. This is the problem with centralization. It's always centralized at the very top. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a problem with rich people. I have a problem when average people aren't allowed to become rich because the system is rigged against you. Decentralization isn't perfect, but it prevents a centralized authority from gaming the system against you. They're almost coming off like they're taking this high ground, this high road. It's unbelievable. But that's what you have in a centralized system. In a decentralized system like Uniswap, listen, Uniswap is publicly owned. It's self-sustained, and it creates a financial infrastructure that is independent and is sustainable. It's truly incredible technology. So how does it exist? What does it do? How does it run? Who's running it? There's obviously developers that develop Uniswap, but they can't, once it's launched now, they can't shut it down. They can't stop it once it's in place. How are decisions made? Well, that's actually in the process of getting developed now. We're currently on version 2 Uniswap. We're going to version 3. They've recently released a Uni token. The Uni token, by the way, is a token that has value on the Uniswap. And that Uni token, by holding that token, you have basically governance abilities. So they will put up proposals to be voted on, and for every token, you essentially have a vote. And basically, you're able to vote on proposals, the direction of where the technology is going. And with that vote, that technology will go in that direction. Here's what's incredible. Even if there was never another vote, even if somehow the government said you can no longer do any further developing, even if they tried to shut down the contract, there is no known way to be able to shut down the blockchain, to shut down the trading. It's literally impossible. Here's what's also impossible. If you wanted to put your stock on the stock exchange, it would take a tremendous amount of work. You'd have to get regulatory approval. You got to find some big company willing to take you public. Not only are you going to make money when you go public, but they're going to make money when you go public. Uniswap is very, very different. Anybody can put any sort of token practically on Uniswap. You just got to be able to provide liquidity. And liquidity is basically just providing tokens to Uniswap and token pairs for people to be able to make exchanges. Once liquidity is provided, then they're able to make changes. And that's where the liquidity pools come in. And we'll go into that in another video. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. But just keep this in mind. Decentralization equals freedom, ladies and gentlemen. Trustless, permissionless, publicly owned, self-sustained financial infrastructure. Robinhood can't manipulate you. NASDAQ can't manipulate you. There's no centralized authority. At this very moment, the only thing you can trade on Uniswap is Ethereum-based tokens. But all you have to do is come here. I have a video showing you how to use Uniswap. I'll put it above, but basically you launch app. It's only through decentralization that you can prevent the well-connected, ultra-wealthy from taking advantage of the small trader. Thank you so much for watching. Decentralized equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.